Press TV UK. We're here in central London where a demonstration in support of the National Health Service is taking place. Up to 100,000 people are marching from Portland Place, the headquarters of the BBC in London, to Downing Street, where later on Jeremy Corbyn, amongst others, will address the throngs of people. Excuse me. We're live streaming for an internet channel. Would you like to just say why you're here today? This lady? Okay. Hi, I'm live streaming from an internet channel, Press TV. Why are you here today?
I work for the NHS and I believe in the NHS, and I think, the NHS should stay free for everyone. It's a service, not a business.
Do you work in the NHS?
Yep.
What do you do exactly?
I'm a speech therapist on a hospital ward.
How have the austerity measures affected you?
Fewer resources, fewer team members, it takes us longer to get to people have to wait more. It's the same as across the NHS.
What do you think the answer is? Is it more funding?
Yeah, it's more funding, more support.
Okay, thank you very much today. Thank you. So, just to give you a bit of context, since the Conservative government came in 2010, they have enacted very harsh austerity measures, as everyone living in the UK will know. And these austerity measures have impacted on things like education, public services, education and health in particular. Now, these people here today are very proud of the National Health Service. They say perhaps the National Health Service is Britain's greatest achievement in the last 50 years, in the post-war period. And certainly traditionally it has been the envy of health services all around the world. It's one of the great things about Great Britain. The truly great things about Great Britain. Let's forget about the wars and all the bad stuff. But generally, Americans, for example, have to pay for their health care. When you get sick in America, doctors, they look at your wallet before your pulse. Whereas here, traditionally, we have enjoyed good health services, free at the point of use. But these people now say that is under threat due to Tory austerity cuts and also privatisation by stealth. So, looking at some of the placards, there for us, here for you, NHS. It's the 70th anniversary of the NHS. And that's what this march has been timed to coincide with. So... this march will wind its way through central London towards Downing Street, towards Whitehall, where prominent people within the NHS and within the field of politics will address the crowd, including perhaps our future Prime Minister, Jeremy Corbyn. So we're in Regent Street now, for those of you who know central London. Excuse me. I'm live streaming on the internet for an internet channel. Can I ask why you're here today? Would you like to speak? People a bit shy. Excuse me. I'm live streaming on the internet for an internet channel. I'm live streaming on the internet for an internet channel. Would you like to just tell me why you're here today?
Well, because as a nation, the UK as a nation and the world is a better place with a bastion which says that healthcare is free at the point of need for a whole population, funded by the people who work in this country, basically.
Do you work in the NHS yourself?
I don't know personally, but I know people that do. And that same argument goes for our utilities, goes for our infrastructure, goes for everything. We live in a country here in the UK where they're spending billions on bailing out banks. That's going on in the rest of the world. It's going on in the rest of the world as well. There are people queuing up for hours for basic operations. The waiting lists are getting out of control. It's theft. It's something that belongs to the people of this country and not to the people that have been stealing it. Simple as that.
Why do you think these? I mean, the Tories would say obviously the dire finances. We got to make these cuts.
How come then they've got billions to bail out the banks? How come when it comes to propping up their government, they've suddenly got billions to parachute in a Protestant fundamentalist equivalent of Daesh into our Houses of Parliament?
Yeah.
How come they've got the cash to do that, but they don't have the cash to fund hospitals?
So what's the answer? More funding, yeah?
But as a basic point of fact, yes.
But the Tories, isn't it ideological for the Tories?
Absolutely.
So, do you have much hope for Jeremy Hunt? Are they going to see the light?
No. The thing is, it's deliberate policy, as you just said yourself.
Yeah.
It's deliberate policy. It is ideological.
So it needs to be chucked out?
Basically, yeah. And he needs to go on trial for crimes against the people of this country as well.
And Corbyn in? And
Corbyn in as a basic platform to get things done, yes. Corbyn don't go far enough, but he's a good start.
Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I think that gives you a flavour of... sorry for the bad camera work there, but I was filming that gentleman as I was walking. Tripped over several times, hit a few lampposts, so sorry for the shot being a bit wobbly. But I think that gentleman gives you a flavour of the people that are here today. Left-wing, most of them. Not all of them. Not having much faith in the Tories because they think privatisation is a sacred cow for the Tories. Cuts to public services, is a sacred cow for them. They're ideologically orientated that way. They think the private sector should run everything, and the public sector is inefficient. So, not much hope here that the Tories will solve the problems. But they do have hope in Jeremy Corbyn, despite the fact that he's under attack from his right wing. this march has been organised by trade unions like Unison, public sector unions, with thousands of subscribers working in the NHS, from hospital porters to doctors and nurses, but also a lot of patients here, people who just love the NHS, who are proud of it, don't want to see it being destroyed. So a lot of animus being directed towards Jeremy Hunt with the placards. Jeremy Hunt, the Health Secretary, who's had a running battle with doctors and nurses and health workers these past 6 years. I think he's the longest ever serving Health Secretary. They're very stubborn, the Tories, despite the fact that he gets on very badly with health workers and unions, etc. He's remained in place for over 6 years, I believe. Theresa May digging her heels in there. So at Piccadilly Circus now, heading towards Whitehall. Hopefully we'll bring you the speech by Jeremy Corbyn a bit later. It's a pretty impressive turnout today. There's so many people here that I can't really tell how many people are here. But I would estimate on this march alone there would be tens of thousands. And I guess more will be joining when we get to Downing Street. Diane Streets asks, what time is Jeremy Corbyn speaking? We think sometime between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So we'll try and bring that to you. We might break off first and go live again before that happens. But we will try and bring that speech to you. So the chant here is Tories out, Tories out. So they're not exactly asking for the Tories to reform the system. I think the feeling here is that the Conservatives are ideologically orientated towards the public sector, the private sector, and they're not gonna, a leopard can't change its spots. So I think these people see the future in Jeremy Corbyn and a return to nationalisation, serious nationalisation. Perhaps even you can call it socialism. But I don't want to portray it as a uniquely left-wing march or anything like that. There are people here that perhaps aren't Jeremy Corbyn supporters. But I think everyone in Britain, no matter what their political persuasion, has a sort of nostalgia and warm feeling towards the National Health Service because we've all used it. If we're parents, we've used it. Pregnant women, you know, children, and obviously more serious patients use it all the time. We use it accident and emergency all the time. We're using the NHS, and we go there, and sometimes we're a bit dismayed by the wait, but you know, we wait 4 hours and we get treated. That is unheard of in other places in the world. You have to wait days and weeks, and you have to pay for the service as well. Now obviously we pay for it through our taxes, but I think people don't mind doing that. But the feeling is that the service has got worse over the last 10 years, and now there are long waits for treatment. Now there are kind of inadequate care when you get into the, you know, the nurses are great, but ultimately they're doing too much and they can't give you the care that we used to get. So the march is just being held here for a few minutes while everyone catches up. Excuse me, I'm live streaming on the internet. Can I just ask you why you're here today?
Why?
Why are you here today? Why are you marching? What's your message?
Well, basically, we want to keep the NHS in our hands. Stop privatisation before it gets any worse.
Are you an NHS worker or are you just...
No, I'm a Labour Party member.
Okay, so are the Tories, are they... what are you calling for them to get out? Or to,
we need rid of them. They need to go. We need to get rid of them. We need to get Corbyn in ASAP if we want to save the NHS. Simple as that.
Is it ideological for the Tories, or...?
Yeah, well, it's typical Tory. You know, it's what Tories do. Tories privatise. You know, they want everything for themselves.
Yeah.
It's just putting the money back in the friends' pockets. The big boys. That's what they do. No, we need to take it off them. Corbyn and McDonnell will do that.
Has the service definitely got worse over the last few years?
Well, the service isn't getting worse. No, it's just that it's getting failed by. It's not getting the funding. They say they're giving it more money, but on retrospect, it's not. You know, maybe it's a lot less.
So that's the answer: more funding. You think?
Absolutely. Yeah. The service isn't going. You know, the service is as good as it's always been.
Yeah.
But they're under pressure because of the lack of funding. So. Yeah, the Tories not going to fund it.
Okay. Can I ask you as well? I see you nodding along. Why are you here today? What's your message?
Absolutely the same. Yeah, we're here because it's its 70th birthday. It's so important to us, and we want to celebrate and demonstrate so that we can retain this vital public service. So yeah, more funding and everyone on the streets shouting with us.
Thank you very much.
I was born in the NHS and I want to die in the NHS. That's how it is, mate.
Thank you. Sorry, lady. Oh. Would you like to say a few words? I'm assuming. Oh, you called me over. You called me over. You called me over, then she stitched me up.
No. What do you want to know?
No. Why are you here today? I'm just live streaming the internet. Yeah.
To support the NHS. I've had it all my life, and if we don't save it now, there'll be no more NHS, and we'll all have to go private, and nobody will be able to afford the healthcare.
Are you an NHS worker, or you just obviously use it like everyone else?
I'm a user.
Yeah. Have you noticed the service got a lot worse over the last few years?
Definitely over a long period of time. We used to be able to have a doctor come to our house. Now we don't have that service. We have to obviously dial 911, and then they instruct us from there what we need to do and where we need to go.
And who do you blame for that?
Well, the government. It's all the cutbacks.
I mean, they say those cutbacks are necessary, or some of them anyway, because obviously the bad public finances. What do you say to that?
I just say that it's their poor management at their end. Obviously, they're blaming obviously not just the British service users. They're blaming international users, but at the end of the day, that's not the international users' fault or the service users' fault. It's the way they manage the finances and not follow the correct procedures and collect the correct amount of money.
So what's the solution?
The solution is to obviously manage them more properly, okay, and obviously where they need cutbacks, yes, cutback on medications not needed, and also to obviously try to discourage people not to rely on the doctors, the GPs and the hospitals as much, and to go to the pharmacy to obviously ask for advice, because 9 times out of 10 the pharmacist can resolve their problem.
Yeah.
And by doing that, also they won't have to pay for their prescription, and because the prescription is actually more, sometimes can cost more than the actual medicine itself. So on the whole, but there's no point us talking about this today, because if we lose it, whatever we're gonna pay now, you're gonna pay 3 times more.
Yeah.
It's gonna just.
So you're worried about future generations. I mean, we benefit from it, haven't we?
Yes.
But our kids and stuff. Yeah.
Well, their children, our children, their children. With a lot more illnesses coming to surface now, and a lot more people relying on the NHS. It's definitely going to be a very, very, very testing moment and testing time for us all.
All right, so I'm live streaming on a channel called Press TV UK. If you go to our Facebook page,
Press TV UK,
go on our Facebook page, you'll see yourself on telly.
Oh,
all right.
Okay,
thank you. Sorry. All right, let me get to the front of the march. So for those of you just joining, this is quite a big march, to be honest. Tens of thousands of people in central London, all supporting the National Health Service, which is 70 years old today. The National Health Service was born out of the Second World War in that Clement Attlee Labour government, which created the modern welfare state as well as the National Health Service. Generally considered one of the best British governments in living memory, at least internally, in terms of what it did for the United Kingdom. And these people think that very health service, which is one of the prides of Britain, something that we can probably boast about when we go abroad. Not sure we can boast about a lot else, given our record of warmongering and generally imperialism and colonialism, but we can boast about the health treatment that we receive in this country, which is better than in most other countries in the world. But for how much longer? For how much longer? I'm not sure. Sorry. I'll see you again. Can I get a word with you? Why are you here today? What's your message?
Well, I'm a political protester known as Batman, but my message is here for the NHS. We want it to be nationalised. No more privatisation, pay rise for the NHS, make some more jobs in the public sector and increase our country. We've got unemployment at the lowest. If we're doing tuition fees of £7.5 grand, why don't we give them a decent job at the end of it? How many nurses are coming from universities these days compared to 10 years ago? None. They're all lower.
Yeah.
So why don't we make some public sector jobs and build our NHS, privatise the no privatisation of the NHS, nationalise it and bring it back to the people.
The Tories don't believe in public sector, do they?
No, they don't, no. But at the end of the day, how many voices in the United Kingdom?
Clear.
Thank you.
Hello.
Don't push me.
I didn't mean to.
Don't put your hands on me.
I meant to tap you, sorry.
No ifs, no buts, no NHS cut. No ifs, no buts, no NHS cut.
Sorry, just some idiot photographer there putting his hands on me, which I didn't appreciate. So just at the front of the demo now. Just at the front of the demo. Winding its way towards Trafalgar Square, I think. And then to Whitehall.
Off the road, people! Off the road!
So please do share this feed. I think we're one of the only ones covering it live. Obviously an important issue. So please tell your friends about it, share the feed, get the word out as much as possible. Even after I cut the feed, please do share it with people so more people can watch after this live is finished. Everyone's saying happy 70th birthday, NHS. Something I guess we can all unite around in this country. We do live in divisive times, politically, about Britain's foreign policy, about Brexit, but I think all of us do have a soft spot for the National Health Service because we're all customers of it. We all know people that work in it. It's our service if you're a British citizen. Victoria saying thank you for attending. Yeah, no problem, that's my job. That's what I'm paid to do, but it's a pleasure doing it as well. I'd do it even if I wasn't paid to do it.